Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for, this is actually a bonus reading, and we're going to look at where you will be 1 year from now, and that'll be that, Taurus. We're actually going to first take a look at where you will be in about 6 months. That'll be the first part of the reading, and then the second part where we kind of clarify. That will take us to 1 year. I'm also going to pull kind of your 5 main themes at the end of the reading, so we're going to get an even deeper look at like where you're headed at the end of the reading as well. So let's see here. It looks like, it's kind of interesting to have all these swords cards, but you have all these swords cards, but you have this happy card as well. So, to me, again, I don't look at tarot as good or bad, and to me, this looks like something difficult is coming to an end, is what I would say to you. You start off with this Libra card. It says balance on it. A lot of these energies have been just coming up even in just the regular old readings that I do every single week for like bringing things into balance. So it seems to me like we are in a time of balance, or we're in a time of balancing things out in our lives, and that's definitely something that I feel you could be very focused on in the near future, especially with everything that's coming up here. You have the Seven of Swords, the Temperance card, and the Six of Pentacles, another card of balance. The Six of Pentacles, he's got the same scale that the Justice card has, so I feel you're balancing out. It's also crazy to me that almost every single sign has had the Ace of Pentacles. It seems to me like it's a time of planting seeds, which, I talk about all the time, and especially with you because you have Uranus in your sign. Uranus in Taurus is kind of all about building something long term. And as I always say to you, Taurus, it's like if I were you, I would be building something permanent in my life, whether it's a business, a career, a relationship, whatever it is you want, doesn't really matter. But Uranus in Taurus has a major focus on freedom. And what I would say is that, especially in work or business, this seems to be financially related with the Ace of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles here. It's like not so much that's building something that isn't so much up and down as far as your earnings are concerned. Business, work, life in general, there are always going to be ups and downs. Finances are never truly stable, but this is having a lot more control maybe than you have had over your finances for, quite a while. Next, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is about remembering you can turn one thing into another. It is a card of alchemy. It can represent turning a negative into a positive or a positive into a negative. You can go either way with the Temperance card, but I really feel you've been very patient at this time. You also have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, of course, can represent lying, cheating, stealing. I would just be careful of rushing into things. I would also say I would make sure too much Swords energy in the first 6 months, right? We're going to clarify this. We're going to see where it goes. It's not even a bad reading, really. You do have the Ten of Swords, but personally, I like the Ten of Swords. To me, that guy is dead. So every time someone talks about how bad the Ten of Swords is, I'm like, it doesn't get much worse than that. He's dead. It's time for a new beginning. Ace of Pentacles, which you have right here. But with the Seven of Swords, I do get a need to maybe add some more heart into things, which has come up for other people as well. With all the swords, you could be very mental over the next 6 months. You could be thinking about things a lot. It could be a very logical time. But I would just say, where is the heart part of it? He normally has polka dots on his cloak, which represents needing to have fun in the tarot on the Seven of Swords, but also the Three of Pentacles also has polka dots. And it kind of can represent needing to add that part of something. It's like if you're entering into a relationship and it's all swords, all up here, all mental, all serious, all logical, probably not going to work out. We have to balance things out. So this reading is clearly asking for balance. Same thing with the business as well. It's like if you're only doing things to make money, then, what could you do to increase abundance for other people, or, whatever the case may be. And it doesn't mean like giving away money or anything. Trust me, I am an evil capitalist, right? I believe that we should be making as much as we possibly can. And I believe that people who say things like evil capitalists give way too much money, way too much power to what money is in the first place, right? So I believe we should be making as much as we possibly can to do as much good with it as we possibly can, right? But what I would say here, trust me, as much as I'm all about making money, I also think sometimes in our business we need to make sure we're doing things for the right reasons, not just money, right? And we're doing it for other reasons. Like, does it fulfill us? Does it help fulfill other people? Does it increase abundance for other people? What does it do? And I feel, I'm not saying you're being greedy or anything like that, but I feel like some of that needs to be added to it. You even have this new moon in Scorpio next, and it says work through your fears. A lot of people have been getting energy like this as well. You have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords, of course, can be a card of separation. That's not really the whole point of these readings. The whole point of these readings is where you will be in 6 months in this first part, 1 year in the next part. And, what I would say here is that this is asking you to take some sort of risk. Five of Swords, Two of Swords. We're going to cover that in just a second. But, I would take the risk to explore something that you've never explored before. And that's what this whole entire row is about. Look, you have the Five of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. Five of Swords, to me, can be a card of taking a risk. It's like the risk of, anything that you could potentially see as a risk. We're not talking about uncalculated risk here. We're, of course, talking about calculated risk. But, I feel you've been preparing for something for a long time. Again, like starting a business or starting your next project or whatever. And I feel the risk is putting yourself out there with that Five of Swords. On the Two of Swords, you can see that she has this new island behind her. No, you can't. You actually can't see it. But she has a new island behind her there, and she's sitting where she has always been. She's trying to protect her heart. What have we been talking about this whole entire time? That she's got those swords crossed over her heart. That's what she's trying to protect. But at the same time, maybe she's not listening to her heart. Maybe her heart is saying, go over to this new island, right? Which could be like a new business idea, a new job for you. Could even be a new relationship or just some sort of change that you want to make in your life. Temperance right next to it. Temperance is basically saying you want to transform. I feel that. And you also have the Hangman on the other side, which is like you're actually way more prepared than you think to transform into something that's clearly going to make you happy, right? But it's like she might be overthinking things. It is a card of being stuck at a stalemate. I think you just need to make the change. Again, to me, this is just the astrology that everybody is dealing with. I feel like all of us are being asked to do something that has either never been done before. We're entering into the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is the innovator. Innovating means doing something that's never been done before. Or at the very least, taking something that has been done before, but doing it in a different way. The problem is there's nothing to, compare that to. It's like if you want to start a business, but you want to start it in a way that's never been done before, there's no one to say, for you, right, to say, oh, this works because I see that someone else did it. So, the problem right now, I wouldn't even call it a problem. I think it's amazing because, it's going to, if you do this, then you're going to feel really good, right? And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but as I always say, it's like easy come, easy go. We should be wanting to do the hard things. And I've had a lot of complaints about me saying that, but again, I only want to read for people that understand that doing the hard things sometimes is really where it's at because it makes you feel freaking amazing when you accomplish it. You're basically like a hero here on Earth when you accomplish it, and you're inspiring other people, which again, entering into the age of Aquarius, Aquarius is a star card, all about inspiration. So again, if you really want to spiritually be rewarded, then inspiring other people to do something that's never been done before, or just inspiring people in general is kind of where it's at. You have the Eight of Cups here as well. Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you, but he's also walking into darkness, and he's walking towards the Nine of Cups. So he is moving towards fulfillment. And I feel that's where you are headed here, Taurus. I feel you're headed towards fulfillment, but I would kind of like get moving here towards something new. And again, I feel like if you're wondering what this is, like I said, it's probably an innovative idea, and it could be in any area of your life, but it's probably something that's never been done before, and I'd say there's nothing to compare it to if you're, again, wondering what it is. Next, you have the Happy card. So you can see here, she's channeling happiness through the top of her head. I always say that she is choosing to be happy. As I always say, happiness is kind of a choice in my mind. I think we can choose to be happy. There are plenty, and again, people challenge me on that one as well, and I always say, well, there are plenty of people who are in very negative situations, but they choose to be happy. And so to me, happiness is a choice. It's not something we just get. We have to kind of work towards it. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's part of life. And I also think it's a good thing. If we were always blissed out and if we were always happy, it's like there's, then cameras would focus when I want them to, right? And there would be nothing to work towards. There would be nothing to improve. So happiness is something that I think we have to work towards. But I do feel you are kind of like, that's what you're doing here in this reading. You have the Ten of Swords, the Hangman, and the Ace of Pentacles. It's kind of like I get this throw it out type of energy here on this Ten of Swords. I kind of feel like it's just saying, that something needs to be chucked in the dumpster. I feel like that something is dead, done, over with in your life. And this is probably not a bad thing because, again, when I pick this card up, I feel like that something could be preventing your happiness. For some of you, it could definitely be a relationship, but I would call it more of a situationship. I don't really feel much of a relationship in general here. So for some of you, It could just be a connection with another person where it's not really going anywhere, and it could be stealing your happiness. For others, it could be like multiple relationships or people who are complainers. For others, it could just be not getting started on something like a business project or something along those lines. So I would get moving. I feel like you're over-prepared, Hangman. And so I feel that for a lot of you, you're actually over-prepared as far as getting started is concerned. I would also be very careful of like listening to astrology and tarot, right? I always tell people, it's like I love tarot down to my bones. Of course, that's why I do this. But, to me, it's like if it's controlling your life, if it's affecting you negatively, if it's preventing you from getting started on things, then I would throw it out. Plain and simple. I would chuck tarot in the dumpster. And again, trust me, I do this for a living, right? So it's like, I think if you take it too seriously, which definitely there was a time in my life where, I took things, tarot and astrology way too seriously. Guess what? I stopped watching it for a while. And now I don't take it as seriously, right? I use it as loose guidance as best, which is how I think people should take it. And again, if you can't take it like that, again, not trying to be mean here, but I definitely wouldn't watch it, right? Because I think that tarot can mess with people for sure. And I always say this because I think it's true. But finally, you have the Ace of Pentacles. And what I was saying here is I feel like something needs to get started on. And again, if you're worried about getting started, I was getting something about the astrology mostly, not tarot. But I was getting like, if you're worried about the retrogrades that are coming up, if you're worried about whatever, about getting started, I would just not even listen to it, right? It's like, I just wouldn't even pay attention. Like I said, back in the day, I used to read, like I remember years ago, I read one of those Chinese astrology books one year, and it like ruined my whole entire year, right? Which probably would have been fine if I didn't read the book, because I read the book and it was talking about how terrible the year was going to be, and then my year was terrible. But it's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg, right? The book or the year? And I think it was the book that made my year terrible, because I was always thinking about it all year long. I was thinking about how it said like nothing would work, and then guess what? Nothing worked. So I'd be careful of what you're putting into your head for sure. You have this Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is planting seeds. Again, everybody has been getting the garden analogy in their reading, and it's because of Uranus and Taurus. I would be planting seeds in new directions in your life, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of success. And again, don't be afraid to nurture things into existence. Like if you're growing a business or writing a book, treat it like a garden. So like treat it like something you take care of, right? Let's see what we have going on for you here, Taurus. We're going to clarify this will be where you will be in 1 year. With the Seven of Swords, you have the World card, accomplishments. So accomplishing something big, too. The world is not like a small accomplishment. The world is a big accomplishment. So if you're hoping to accomplish something big, I feel you could be accomplishing a lot more. I also feel like you're adding more happiness to your life. Remember, Seven of Swords, polka dots, right? Needing to add more fun to your life. You have that happy card. So I feel like you're creating these wins, which again is a major theme that comes up in a lot of the readings. I might actually start doing like once a month or something. I might start doing a random energetic tune-in channeling thing, because I've just been noticing all the energies are very similar. So I might start doing videos of that all together, but that's a side note. Anyway, I feel there's big accomplishments coming in for you. And again, I feel the small wins are kind of adding up to these bigger things. With the Temperance card, a total turnaround. Love it. Temperance is a transformation, and it can represent a turnaround. With the Wheel of Fortune, definitely a change in your fortunes with this energy. But again, I kind of feel this is you starting the momentum with that Temperance card. And what I mean by that is I would start focusing on the small wins. It's like, again, not to talk about myself too much, but like a long time ago, super negative space, right? It's like I started to have to just have like a little bit of wins every once in a while. And trust me, it used to drive me crazy when people tell me to be more positive. So I totally get it. But I just started, maybe at the beginning I was like 30% positive and then 70% negative, right? But I just started to tilt things more towards the positive. And eventually I got to where I am now, which is probably like, I don't know, 80-20, right? 80% of the time I'm positive, 20% of the time I'm negative. I feel like if you could just start tilting the scales towards focusing on the positive, that would probably change everything for you. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Five of Swords. You do have the Five of Swords twice. Sorry, I just wanted to look and see where that was. Five of Swords is taking a risk. Six of Pentacles really tells me that I feel, and plus that Five of Swords, I feel like the risk you could be taking is that you're looking at just where you put your energy with the Six of Pentacles, and the risk is you're removing the things where you're wasting your time. Six of Pentacles, he's like giving to one thing, but maybe not the other, but probably because the other thing is a waste of time. So he's really making sure that he's investing in the right things, which it seems to me you are. With the Five of Swords, you have the Two of Pentacles, balancing things out. Again, major balance reading for you, but I feel you're kind of balancing more to the positive. Again, Two of Pentacles, work hard, play hard. almost every single person has had a work hard, play hard message. So it seems to me like we could be entering into a very busy period of time. Again, sometimes I think when things like a recession happens, right? Maybe we kind of go too far to one side. Maybe we think, oh, I have to work my ass off, which could be true. You're like, maybe I have to work my ass off to make a bunch of money to make up with this, right? But it's like we never kind of go back to the other side, or we don't balance things out. I think sometimes we get stuck on one side or the other, like even when things are going well, maybe you get too lazy, right? So it's like, I feel like this is saying, what's the middle? It's like, what's the middle between you being able to kind of maintain a certain amount of income or a certain amount of love in your life or a certain amount of health, right? And what is that middle point? I feel that's almost what you're kind of discovering here with this energy. It's like maybe you're discovering that you don't have to, that you could hire a person, right? So you don't have to work as hard, but you're still doing the same amount of work or more, right? Or maybe you're developing systems like in your business or in your career that allow you to do the same work, the same amount of hard work, right? But with less because you put it into a system, because you started working smarter. And that's kind of like what I feel here. With the Two of Swords, you have the Four of Cups. It's like there's something right in your face here, Taurus. I kind of like and don't like the Four of Cups at the same time, personally. It's one of those cards where I don't really see it as a bad card, but I don't see it as a good card either. And sometimes I feel that it's okay. Other times I feel that that cup is an opportunity that's right in front of you that you could be ignoring, right? And we have the Ace of Pentacles in the same diagonal. Sorry, I'll show you right here. This is clearly going to be a big accomplishment going in this direction. Maybe you're worried about investing a lot of time in something, so I feel that's a clue for you. If you're wondering, what is the Ace of Pentacles in my reading? Like, what thing is that in my life? It could be anything. Could be a person, could be a relationship, a business, whatever. I feel like what you need to think about is, if you're worried about the time that you're putting into something, like if a relationship comes in and you're wondering, do I give this person time because I really don't want to waste time? Or if it's a business, I really don't want to waste time. I would say that's probably the thing that you should put time into with the Ace of Pentacles. And again, if you're worried, your answer is Libra, Six of Pentacles. Put a little energy in. Wait till you get energy back. If you get energy back, keep going until you don't get a return on your energy. And if you don't get a return on your energy, that doesn't mean stop, by the way. If you have a business and you're doing things until you keep getting returns on energy, then it stops, right? That could just say, try something new. Again, innovate. We're in the time of Aquarius. It's not a time to just give up on things. It's a time to be like, okay, what I've been doing isn't working. What else could work, right? And the people that do that, again, heroes on earth. Like I said, you will inspire other people. Eight of Cups. You have the King of Wands. King of Wands about, he would, if he had an opportunity to do something new, he would just charge right towards it, right? Eight of Cups is kind of walking into darkness. It is walking away from things that no longer serve you, but really it's walking towards fulfillment. And the King of Wands, he would maybe be totally willing and open to do things that have never been done before. He would just be brave, bold, assertive. I feel like embracing that energy would be really good for you. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Three of Wands here. Accomplishments. I feel there are some accomplishments coming in for you big time at the world, but also the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, he's normally waiting for his ships to come in, but I feel like 1 year from now, your ships will have been coming in the whole year. Again, I like to remind people in these readings, I've had comments where people are like, I have to wait a year for this. I'm like, no, this energy builds. It's like, it's not like one day you're not going to have something, the next day you are. This is, a process. It's not a light switch, right? Tarot, astrology, it's not like the light turns on, light turns off. So I feel for a lot of you that you're actually going to be seeing your ships coming in from now till the end of the year. Some things faster than others, right? Of course, that's just how life works. But I definitely am seeing that more as accomplishments. With the Hangman, you have the Page of Pentacles. In a lot of ways, I feel like this is saying there's nothing more for you to learn, right? I feel like you're at this point where, and I'm pretty sure I said this to you in one of your recent readings, where it's learn as you go now. It's like you're at the stage of learn as you go. It's time to stop reading books, right? Or it's time to stop with the analysis paralysis. With the Hangman and the Page of Pentacles, sometimes that gives me analysis paralysis vibes, where it's like you could be thinking, oh, there's more to learn. So it's like maybe you want to start a business and you're like, oh my God, I don't know all the tax codes. I don't know all this stuff, all this stuff. Throw it out, right? That's what you're throwing out. I feel like this says you can learn as you go. You're at the stage now where you know enough to be dangerous here, Taurus, so I would get moving. Same thing in love. It's like you can only learn so much. Eventually you have to put things into action. With the Ace of Pentacles, Hangman, again, same thing. So basically the universe saying I meant what I said. Basically the universe saying it is time for you to get a move on. We're going to pull 5 random cards here, and we're just going to see what 5 things are going to be your main, theme, whatever you want to call it here. And we're actually going to pull an extra one, but I'll tell you that in a second. Your first theme, you have the heart. And I literally talked about this the entire first part of your reading. Putting your heart into things is going to be where it's at for you. Making sure you got plenty of head energy. Hangman twice, all the swords cards. I really felt that at the beginning of your reading. This says love, deep affection, and caring, but I feel like it's talking about the, adding that to the things that you're working on. Making sure that there's something heart-based. Could just be you're passionate about it. Could be that you're making sure that whatever you're doing is helping other people in some way. And again, I think people think helping other people has to be like donating money or volunteering at a food bank or something like that. I'm like, those are all great things, but there are other ways to do this as well. You could be sharing information on YouTube, on a blog, that is helping other people. You could just be becoming, kind of removing your own restrictions, kind of blasting through any obstacles. Other people see you do that, then you're inspiring them, like we talked about earlier. And again, that is a great way to do it as well. You also have this bull card. That's you, Taurus. It says, do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. Like I said, I feel like you're kind of blasting through some obstacles, but these obstacles are more not having anything to compare what you want to accomplish to. Did that make sense? I don't know. Next, you have the Lion. It says, time to act on it. So clearly a major time for you for taking action. I would definitely be taking action on anything that you want to create. You also have this February card. We're going to pull another card with that, and you have this rat. It says someone working against you behind your back. I would just be careful of that Seven of Swords, right? Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing. And again, more importantly, I would trust your instincts, your intuition, all that stuff, because I feel like that's where you're going to get a lot of answers. And finally, you have the Grapes. It says time to go out and have fun, which we thought, there you go. We literally, the entire reading, I probably could have just pulled these 6 cards. I feel that Seven of Swords, definitely time for you to go out, have fun, do things that you enjoy doing. Same thing, Two of Pentacles, right? Work hard, play hard. So this is a pretty good reading here, Taurus. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.